Hello, fellow YouTubers. You know, I've never done an impression video before for a game, but I've never actually fell totally in love with a game like Elder Scrolls V Skyrim that I'm about to talk about. Now, last week I didn't plan on getting a game, but I found myself kind of bummed. You know, these two major games coming out, Modern Warfare 3 and Skyrim, and I found myself so excited about, wanting to get one of them. My wife said, thanks to my wife, she said, go, hey, you know what, go get one. And for my value, I decided to pick up Skyrim. Now, before I talk about this game, I gotta tell you my history with this series. See, the original one I played was Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. And at the time, seeing the pictures and the reviews of this game, I was really hoping, hey, I hope this is kind of like the Lord of the Rings, scale, that the world and just all the amazing stuff you can find in a fantasy setting. And while the game had a fantasy setting and it was a world, it didn't feel like a living, breathing world. It seemed to take too long to get to places in the game, stuff like that. I enjoyed the game, but there were just things like that like, I can't wait till they make the next one. And so here we are several years later, and Skyrim comes out. And this game feels like a living, breathing world. So many games claim that you have an open world freedom to do what you want in the game. This is the game that actually delivers on that for me. This is a game where I just want to walk around in the world. The other day I was on there and I was just walking around, going, finding new place stuff. I wasn't trying to do any quests. I was just walking around. And seeing the sense and scale of this game, you'll discover this place and the buildings will be like 4 or 5 levels tall, and you're like, wow, this is what I want a fantasy setting open world game to be like. The scale, the amazing scale that make me go, wow. You'll have so many wow moments in this game when it comes to stuff just happening, randomly happening. One of the things that I saw randomly happen was I saw a dragon, and the dragon landed and it got in a fight with a troll, a giant, and so it and the giant were fighting. Or I came upon there was a spider and a thief where I was at. They both they were attacking me, and all of a sudden they started turning on each other. You will come like I came across this big structure, and all of a sudden this frost giant came out, and I went, oh, you just have those moments. This is one of those games where if you have Xbox or if you're on Skype and you guys are playing, you will sit there and be telling the stories of what you find and your experiences are what make this game one of those great games that you and your friends will be talking about and playing. Because each person's experience in this game, in this world, is totally different. Because it randomly bases stuff on your quests and your levels and what you're doing. So this game, each person's unique thing they come across will be different. The first half hour of this game is the worst half hour of the game, and I mean that by the whole experience, because it's you watch the movie in the beginning, and you have what you have to do, and then you get past that part, and then once you get past that part, this is one of those games where you can do whatever you want. You can follow the main quest, you can do side quests, you could just walk around if you want to. In this game, if you want to get better at something, you just do it and you level it up. Your character levels up, and then your other stuff levels up separately. So your lock picking, or whatever it is you want to learn to do better. And there is so much stuff to do in this game. From alchemy to you can enchant your weapons, to you can build your own weapons, to you can upgrade your weapons, you can tan fur, like I said, lock picking. If you see stuff on the table in the game or somewhere in the game, most of the time you can take it all. There are books in the world that you can pick the book up and read the book, and you can learn the story of the world if you want to. You don't have to. I found myself talking to each person in town and doing other conversation trees to learn about the people, not only to get quests, and to learn about the world. It's one of those games that feels like a lived-in world. You're sitting there and you see a bonfire and you walk down and there's 2 giant trolls there. Or you look and you're like, wow, look, there's 2 woolly mammoths in the background. One of the bad things that happened to me in the game, because I was, not loaded up very much and wasn't ready for it, was I walked into this location and said, whatever location discovered, and this big saber-tooth-like cat hit me and killed me instantly. I was like, okay, don't go back there again. If you like a fantasy open world, you'll like this game. If you did not like Oblivion, you may not like this game. Now this game does fast track, so once you discover a location, you can fast track to that location. It also allows you to mark locations. So let's say the map doesn't show that there's this thing there that you thought was cool. Maybe it's a broken down house or whatever it is, and you can mark that location so you know, hey, you know what, I might want to go back there. But there are so many weapons in this game to choose from, so many things you can decide to do in this game. This is just one of those, to me, it's just a great game. It's the game I fell in love with because I want a game that gives me a world I can just explore and do what I want, and this game delivers on that. And so if you play this game, I'd love to hear your opinions on Skyrim. It's graphically not the best game out there on the 360 by any stretch of imagination, but when I look at the scope of what they try to do, you're like, wow, it's amazing they pulled it off. How much stuff they put in this game. So few games today for your price don't give you the value that this game does. But again, if you're not into Western RPGs, if you don't like RPGs that don't hold your hand or tell you what to do, this probably isn't the game for you. The only thing I will say that I wish they had in this game is I wish you and your friends could play together in the world together. I think that would be the only thing that would make this game totally like off the hook, if you and your friends could play in the world together online. But as a single player experience, it's just awesome. So guys, that's all for now. I will talk to you all soon.